Hey beauties, welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to be talking about all the things that I have been loving for the month of November. I had to think about it. I was like, what month is it? I might have cheated a little bit in this video, but I thought, you know what, this is my channel. I can if I want to, because you know, when you have this much makeup and you test this much makeup, you just know sometimes. So I'll let you know which one I am cheating on, but I'm cheating. So first things first, this guy right here, the Pat McGrath Subliminal Palette. I talked about it in my recent tutorial. I did not think this was going to be my favorite. I only got it because if I was going to have two, I was going to have all three because I am crazy like that. But this one, I love it so much. I call this the blue palette. You can see why. The ones that I've been using the most this month have been this guy, like this section right here. This is what I call the special section. The last four in all of the palettes are like my favorites. They're so beautiful. But the reason why I'm talking about this is because of these two shades here. I have been using a ton over top of, basically I've been wearing MAC Kid, MAC Nylon, and MAC Brune. Let me show you those real quick. This is like my MAC palette. I always have it out. It gets disgusting. See, Blanc Type, I set my eyes with that every single day. But it has my favorite transitions, shades that I use a lot, and this right here is MAC Kid. They don't make it anymore because they have it out for me, but I haven't been able to find a dupe for it. But basically I take this shade and I like do a whole smoky eye, and I've been using toppers like this in here. I will take this shade and I do the whole eye and then I take my finger and pop it over. Puffin and I went to the movies like 2 weeks ago and I had that and he was like, your eyes look really cool. It's like subtle, but you shift around and it's beautiful. And I'm like, I know, thank you. And then I use this blue as the liner and it's just gorgeous. She did a phenomenal job with these palettes. They are expensive, but I definitely 100% think that they are worth it. And seeing as we were just talking about toppers, I'm going to talk about this one. So I use the Subliminal palette when I want a little more zhuzh, and then this guy when I want it to be a little bit more natural. This is the NATASHA DENONA Crystal Topper in the shade Nude. You can see I got like a little dip in here. I basically do my eye and then I take this with my finger. That's the best way to do it. And I just tap it over and it gives it a very sophisticated, wet, shimmery look. It's not glittery. It's not chunky by any means. It's very smooth and just kind of wet looking. I wore the kind of style that I'm talking about in a recent video. Oh, I don't remember what it was, but it was Makeup Geek Bake Sale, MAC Brune, and then this on top. That is like this style, but I use MAC Kid when I'm not filming because I know it's frustrating. Like I'm using something and then you guys can't get it, but that is like one of my all-time favorite shadows. If you find MAC Kid, you need it in your life. Let's talk about a blush I have been obsessing over this month. This is from Chanel. You know my obsession with Chanel blushes. And this is Burnt Coral. Initially, when you look at this and how fair I am, like I'm super fair now. This is about as light as I will get. This looks like it would be too dark because like, look, pigmentation. It is so beautiful. But you can take this and really it just blends out so nicely and it goes so well with bronzer because I get bronzer happy. Hi, my name is Mel and I love bronzer. And they just go together so well. And I don't have anything like this in my collection. Chanel blushes are one of my favorite formulas. All right, this one's a little funny because when I first got it, I wasn't sure if I liked it or how I was going to use it, if I was even going to keep it. It is from By Terry. This is the Compact Expert Dual Powder in the shade Beige Nude. Now, when I used it, this outer shade would not work as a contour on my face, so I just took everything and I buffed it all over. The center shade is more of like a highlight, a very natural, but it has a sheen to it. I immediately fell in love with the textures of these powders. Like they're creamy, very, very nice, but I didn't know how I wanted to use it. It works really nicely for buffing. If this shade does not work as a contour, then you can take everything all together and buff it at the end. But I love my Sicily powder the most for that, so I was like, I don't want to do that. So I just started playing with it, and this outer shade right here is perfect for my nose. I don't normally contour my nose, but ever since this, I have been. It's like the perfect shade. It's lighter than the bronzer or contour, anything I have on my face, but it's dark enough to show up on my nose without it being like, well, hello, nose contour. And then I have actually been using this as a highlight when I want something just very subtle. Speaking of nose contour, this is what I have been using. I know it seems kind of large, but I don't take it all the way down my nose. I'll use the Artiste Linear one like down here, but right up here, this is so soft and it works really well for shadow and stuff too, but I have it specifically in my jar for right here. I know that's so silly to have a brush like that, but I really like this brush for it, and it's the BDELLIUM Tools Blending Concealer. Yeah, see, I don't go by the rules at all. But then I also take it after everything is done, and I will go down the sides and just make sure everything is blended. A lot of brushes will take the makeup off my nose, and this one doesn't do it because it's nice and soft. Let's talk about a perfect nude lipstick. Tom Ford Autoerotique. You've seen me wear this several times in my recent videos. This color is so beautiful. It's like a darker nude. I love it so much. I wore it in my last video. It's beautiful. It works really well with MAC Spice Liner, and then in the last video I wore it with MAC Strip Down, and even by itself. Love this formula, and this color was exactly what I have been looking for. Kind of on this nude obsession right now. I want a new nude gloss, and I want it to be a new formula, something I don't already have in my collection. If you have glosses that you love, let me know down below. I don't like anything really sticky, but not like too watery either, if that makes sense. I want it to have some kind of staying power. This is the first concealer that has made me not use Shape Tape every single day. Today I actually have on the NARS Soft Matte Concealer, and I used a lighter shade because I was like, I want to be bright today. And then I kept trying to, I kept going to the computer like, why is my video so bright? And I was like, it's not the lights. It's how bright my under eye situation is. I'm not used to it at all. Now, all the concealers I use are like my foundation color. So I'm a little thrown off today, but I have been loving this concealer from Tom Ford. The thing with Shape Tape is it is very full coverage, and I don't always wear a lot of makeup. Like, I always have makeup on, but I don't always have a lot of coverage. And sometimes, like if I'm wearing my Armani and then just a translucent powder over top and not a lot of everything else, that concealer can look very full coverage underneath the eyes. But I haven't found one that wasn't full coverage or wasn't too hydrating or too matte, and this is perfect. It's a medium coverage. It's hydrating. It's like in between hydrating and matte. It doesn't dry out my eyes, but it doesn't make it to where it creases and makes my pores look large either. And this is what the tip looks like. I really like it, and I'm in the shade number 3. Oh yeah, and it's called the Concealing Pen. I have 2 skincare items that I have been loving, but before I jump into those, I'm going to finish with my last makeup items that I'm considering my cheats for the month because I did just recently get them. But I love them. I love them so much. And I'm talking about Linda Hallberg Cosmetics. This is the Metallic Mysteries palette. It's so pretty, you guys. I love it so much. These are so pigmented. Use them wet or dry. I had this shade on right here in my last Too Faced video as my highlight. They're so versatile. You can use them all over your face, and I just think she did such a phenomenal job. If you have not checked out the review on these, you need to. It also gives you a nice option if you don't want to spend $125 on a Pat McGrath palette, but you still want something special. This is definitely it. And then also from her, the Flash crayons. Now, these are the only 2 that I have used this month, so these are the only 2 I'm going to talk about, but I really enjoy the formula on these and the color selection. I got the Rustic Kit, but these are the 2 that I am going to talk about. Today, I actually have on this one. This is Zhao Flash. These, you can use them on your lips even. Oh, gorgeous, and you can use them underneath. I've watched one of her tutorials, and she takes these crayons and puts them and blends them out on her eye and then puts the shadow on top. Like, I'm going to try doing that because I think they're gorgeous. And then this right here is a Whipple Flash. This is the dupe I found for MAC Rich Ground, and it's right there. So creamy, and they last so long. This video is going to be so long. But these are my two skincare items. The first one is from Dr. Dennis Gross, and this is the C+ Collagen Deep Cream. I am currently using the highest level of Retin-A. Why I chose to do that when the cold months, beyond me, because I am flaking, I am dry, I have a lot of texture on my skin, and it's driving me bonkers. I even have a super dry spot right here right now, and so I needed something a little bit more like thicker, more moisturizing, but not to where I couldn't wear it underneath my makeup or that it was going to make me oily, because I still get oily in my T-zone. And this is perfect for that. It is so nourishing. It feels so nice, and I can still wear it underneath my makeup. If you're oily, you're probably not going to like this, but I am thoroughly enjoying it because I really need it. My forehead and around my mouth and nose, oh my gosh, like I can't even get my makeup to last. Like, it still stays on my skin all day, but whew, these areas, if I go to eat a sandwich, it like flakes because I open up my mouth and it just flakes. I cannot wait for that stage to be over. If you're unfamiliar, I was on Retin-A and then I just doubled my dose, and you get a little flaky. That's just kind of what happens. Then we have the Derm Flash. I think it's a Derma Flash. I keep calling it the Derm Flash. My first one of these actually was not working, so I got it, and in the box I plugged it in, did not work. So I got another one. And this is actually something you use to exfoliate your skin, and it kind of shaves your face at the same time, which I love because I love to shave my face, but I only do it like once a month because I break out every single time I do it, and it's very frustrating. And then I'm also acne prone, so like I have a spot right here that has a scab over it, and then obviously I have that big mark where I'm flaking. So if I use a razor, well then it will A, take off a scab, B, it makes me break out all over the place, and C, it will I will become extra dry here. I found that this defuzzes me, gets off the dead skin cells, makes my skin really smooth, but it doesn't make me as dry, and I don't break out. Oh, I love this thing so much. It is pricey. I think it's a little too pricey for what it is, but because of the benefits for me, it's worth it. I could not stand breaking out after every single time I would shave my face. I hated it. My last favorite is actually one that you guys cannot see. I'm a little disappointed in you guys. We need to have a talk. I had spoken about in my Q&A, somebody had asked, like, what do beauty gurus want for Christmas? And I had said that I had wanted a lens. Well, Christmas came early for me because Black Friday came around and I decided on a camera instead of a lens, and it was $500 off. So I went ahead, upgraded my camera, and then it turned into needing new lights because everything was different. And then I also needed new audio. So literally everything has changed. I love this camera so much. I feel like my skin tone is more true. I feel like a lot of times when I was filming my tutorials and stuff, they would get cut down because it would unfocus. I would get so frustrated. This focuses so fast. It's amazing. And then I think, like I said, the detail, everything is much better and more true to color, I think. Let me know if you guys have noticed anything down below. And also, I'm still kind of trying to figure out how I like the lighting, how I like the settings, and this and that, so bear with me. But I do think that the audio actually sounds better because it has less of an echo. I have to do an external mic instead of on here, because otherwise you can hear that lens going. All right, on to the fails. It's just a fail this month. I don't have more than one, and I apologize to this brand because it is nothing against them. It's been very hit or miss. They were in my favorites and my fails last month, and they are in my fails this month. And again, I'm sorry. But this palette right here just did not win my heart over at all. I liked the other two I got. It was the Mauve Obsessions and the Smoky Obsessions. This Warm Brown Obsessions, I'm just not obsessed with. But I actually really love the colors in here. Obviously, I'm a warm tone kind of girl. I gravitated straight to this one. This is the first one I used, and no, the pigmentation's lacking here. They don't blend as well. I just did not, I can make this palette work, but I don't want to because I have so many warm tones that it's just not worth it for me. So for me, this was a fail. So that is the conclusion of my favorites and fails. Let me know down below what you have been loving or not loving this month. And I'm actually going to jump into talking about some updates right now. So if you're don't want to hear that, I love you and I'll see you guys in my next video. But for those of you who saw my Too Faced video, I talked about having surgery and then I forgot to update you guys at the end. So I am about to have knee surgery. If you are unfamiliar, I fell at work right before I left for my shoulder surgery, and I think I tore my meniscus. So on the 14th, I'm going in for knee surgery. It's not a big deal. It just depends on what they do. If they remove my meniscus, repair it, or take a piece out. Depends on what they do as to if I'm out of commission or not. But I will let you guys know. I'm sure it'll be fine. Shoulder-wise, I've got a lot of people being like, yeah, you're back. Like, no. I am doing so much better. I really am, but I can make this movement all day long. If you notice, my shoulder does not move whenever I make those motions. I have a harder time reaching out, so like, I'm about right there, and then it hurts coming back. I can't reach up yet. I can kind of like start to reach and then finish it like by lifting it with my elbow of my other hand. But I just started strength training, so I'm only a few degrees, like 20, 30 degrees off from being full range, except for like putting my arm out. But my strength isn't there to actually perform the motions. So we're almost there, just not quite. But whenever I have my knee surgery, I do have the ability to like put weight. I'll have to use a walker instead of a crutch because I can't put a crutch up underneath my armpit. But that is the update, you guys. Thank you guys so much for caring and asking. I appreciate you. And let me know down below what you guys thought of this video, and I'll see you guys in my next one. Bye, guys.